In this video, we're going to talk about vowels. There is more to say about vowels than you might think. Let's just start with the basics. The letters A, E, I, O and U are called vowels. Here they are. A, E, I, O, U. So there are 5 vowels in the English alphabet. The remaining 21 letters are called consonants. And there they are. So that's simple enough. Let's get a little bit more technical. Here is a formal definition for vowel. A vowel is a sound produced by an open configuration of the vocal tract with vibration of the vocal cords but without audible friction. Wow, that sounds complicated. Let's put up a diagram so we can see what that means. Okay, here is a person. Let's chop some of their face away so we can see the vocal tract. Now, that is a simple picture of the vocal tract. Sounds are made by air coming up from the lungs. With a vowel, you have vibration of these vocal cords, but you don't have any friction from other areas of the vocal tract, and such friction is typically made by things like the tongue, or the teeth, or the lips. Now, with a vowel, you don't have that friction. So a vowel is sound produced by an open configuration of the vocal tract, with vibration from those vocal cords, but with no real interference from the rest of the vocal tract. Okay, let's get rid of him. So why did we need to know this definition? Well, we needed to know this definition because this is not really the whole story. In some words, the letter Y would fit that definition very well. The letter Y is known as a semi-vowel. So in words like hymn, shy and rhythm, the Y is very similar to an I, and in these words, an I can be considered a vowel. But look at these words. Beyond, yacht, yes. With these words, there is obvious friction in the vocal tract, and so Y in these words is a consonant. You have to know this to decide whether to use a or an before a word. More on that later. Before we talk about that, here are just some interesting words with regard to vowels. Abstemious and facetious. Now, abstemious means showing restraint, typically with food or drink, and facetious means being inappropriate, so deliberately going against the expected view. Now, the reason why these words are interesting is because they contain all 5 vowels in order, so might be good for a pub quiz. Here is another interesting word, iuea, iuea. So that first letter is a capital I. So this word only contains vowels. And Iuea is a genus of sea sponges, just so you know. Okay, let's clear that. Haven't quite finished with this word yet, Iuea. Let's bring it back a little bit bigger. So Iuea. Those individual sounds are called syllables. So Iuea has 4 syllables. Now, vowels are central to syllables. So what is a syllable? Well, a syllable is produced with a single pulse of air from the lungs. So remember this guy. We're talking about a single pulse. A syllable is a single unit of uninterrupted sound. And here's our key point, a syllable always contains a vowel sound. Now, this word is important, a vowel sound. Not every syllable contains an actual vowel, so just bear that in mind. We have a whole lesson on syllables. So let's do a few more syllables. So spectacular, spec-tac-u-la. 4 syllables. 4 single pulses of air from the lungs and 4 single units of uninterrupted sound, each one of which contains a vowel sound. And in this case, they all actually contain a vowel. House. This has 1 syllable. It was said with a single pulse of air from the lungs. It was an uninterrupted sound and it had 1 vowel sound. Even though there are 3 vowels, it was just 1 vowel sound. And here's another one. Ruin. Ruin. 2 syllables. 2 pulses of air from the lungs, 2 single units of uninterrupted sound, and 2 vowel sounds. So when you come to study syllables, just remember that every syllable has a vowel sound at its heart. Okay, let's clear that. I want to bring our vowels back. Here they are, A, E, I, O, U. Only I'm going to call these long vowels. If we've got long vowels, we must have short vowels, and we do. So vowels come in 2 different sorts, short vowels and long vowels. So the short vowels are A, E, O, as in bat, bed, bit, bog and butt. And the long vowels are A, E, I, O, U, as in haze, he, high, hope and human. So that looks like you could learn that pretty easily. But welcome to English. In English, vowels can be all sorts of different sounds. For example, look at that short E sound, as in bed. It also appears in many and bread and said and leopard. You've got to say that's crazy. And also, look at the long A sound. Yes, it appears in haze, but it also appears in pain and pray spelt differently, and puree. That must drive English learners crazy. But if it helps, it also drives the teachers crazy, because they are the ones who have to explain it. The best I can say is sorry. Our spelling is a nightmare. Okay, let's get rid of that. I'm going to keep these vowels up because we're now coming to an important point related to these vowel sounds. Should you use an or a before a word? Now, you may think the rule is you use an before a vowel and a before a consonant, but that is actually not the rule. The rule is you use an before a vowel sound and a before a consonant sound. That word sound is very important. Let me explain why. Here's an easy example. An apple. Well, look at that a. That is the short a. So you would expect an in front. So this is correct. Here's another easy one. Here we have a consonant that starts with a consonant sound. So you'd expect a in front. This is correct. But look at this one. We now have a word starting with a consonant, but actually the word hour is said with the short a sound. So we have an hour, not a hour. So this is correct. And look at this. This word house starts with the same 3 letters as hour, but this one correctly is preceded by a. So from this example, you can tell that it's the sound that matters, not the letter. Here is another example, an unknown man. Well, look at this. This is the short sound. It's a vowel, so we have an in front. This is correct. But look at this. It starts with the same 2 letters, but this time we have a unique chance. And that's because this time it starts with the y sound, which is a consonant. There is friction in the vocal tract to create the y sound. And now look at this example. An NRA meeting. Well, the capital letter N is said N with a short E sound. So an is correct. But look at this one, a NATO meeting. This time we don't say NATO, we say NATO. And the word NATO starts with a consonant sound. So therefore, A is correct. So, just to reiterate, it's not about the first letter. It's about the sound of the first letter. Okay, enough on that. That is everything I want to say about vowels. Just to summarise, the vowels are the letters A, E, I, O and U. You also have Y, which is sometimes a vowel. It is a semivowel. We also spoke about the definition of a vowel and how a vowel is a sound produced by an open configuration of the vocal tract with vibration of the vocal cords but without audible friction from elements such as the tongue, teeth or lips, among others. We also spoke about syllables and how syllables are produced with a single pulse of air from the lungs and is a single uninterrupted sound that contains a vowel sound. Syllables may also contain consonants, but they will have a vowel sound at their heart. So here we have ruin. This has 2 syllables. We spoke about short vowels and long vowels, and we spoke about the difficulty with English spelling. And then the important bit. We spoke about how it's the sound of the first letter that determines whether to use a or an. That is everything I want to say about vowels. Thanks for watching.